Hello everybody, welcome to Sports Federation TV. As you know, we talk about sport in the Western Cape, specifically for the various sports federations who can't necessarily get themselves onto TV. My name is JP Nordier, I'm your host. Of course, as I said, remember there's 6 districts in the Western Cape. So we try and cover sport across the boundaries as much as possible. Folks, we've got a jam-packed show this evening. We're speaking to the guys from wrestling. We're going to speak to Kurt Herzog. He's the South African wrestling coach. In a couple of minutes' time. Deep sea angling is back on, and of course, last night it was the Cape Town Sports Council Awards held at the Civic Centre. The chairperson of the Cape Town Sports Council, Richard Buckley, is going to join me a little bit later. He's going to tell us about what happened at the awards last night. It was a fantastic function. I was there, and some big names, of course, receiving their accolades on the evening. But first of all, let's get starting with wrestling. South African coach Kurt Herzog. Kurt, welcome to Federation TV.
Thank you very much.
So I believe you drive all the way through from Worcester.
Yes, I drove all the way from Worcester after all day's work. So.
Okay, so you work. You don't just coach professionally.
No.
You got to still keep a day job.
Yes, of course.
Yeah. How do you balance that?
It's been hectic this year because I started at HTS Rosday, High Technical School Rosday, with the sport organisation and it.
Are you a teacher? Or
no, I'm just sport coaching.
Yeah.
I do the wrestling and I also coach a bit of rugby. A lot of rugby, wrestling for rugby. I've been coaching as well, coaching the under 14A rugby team, 15A, 16, all of them to help them with their rugby, of course.
Yeah, that's becoming quite popular now. Like
yes.
Judo for rugby, wrestling for rugby,
it's picked up a lot since I started in Worcester about 8 years ago.
Yeah.
Where there was about 50 wrestlers in the whole of Boland, which is now the Cape Winelands Wrestling.
Yeah.
And it's changed. We've got one of the largest provinces now. We've got about 200 wrestlers. Registered already for this year.
I have a problem with Boland wrestlers because I used to do judo, and you guys always used to beat the judo guys.
But that's okay.
Because the wrestling guys would just put on a judo suit and come and do wrestling, and then they'd win anyway.
The whole balance and everything, it's basic.
It's very much the same, yeah. Of course, you guys must be happy now that you're back into the Olympics.
Yeah, it's nice to stay in the Olympics. We never actually left. It was just a whole debate about what's going to happen. But with the new wrestling organization, United World Wrestling, a lot of things have changed.
Yeah.
I mean, our colors have changed, the mats have changed, the wrestling rules has actually changed for the better to make it more entertaining for the people, spectators, people who don't know wrestling.
Yeah.
And that's normally the problem. Spectators come in and they look at wrestling and they don't know what's happening. Now the rules have changed and it's actually become more simpler and more entertaining.
Give us an example.
For example, takedowns is now 2 points. To get behind a guy, 2 points, you score your points. Where in the beginning we had 2 rounds or 3 rounds. If you win best out of 3 rounds, 2 rounds, you win the match. Now it's changed, and as well as the Greco-Roman, it's only up until 8 points lead, you win. And with the freestyle, which I normally coach, is to 10 points.
What's the difference between wrestling, Greco-Roman, and freestyle wrestling?
Freestyle wrestling is pretty much leg attacks, throws, everything.
Yeah. Where
Greco-Roman is only upper body.
Okay.
So it's only throws and nothing below the waist.
You can't grab the legs. You can't.
You're not allowed to.
Which is the one in the Olympics?
Both.
Or both.
We've got basically now it's Greco-Roman wrestling, freestyle wrestling, as well as female wrestling.
Okay.
They've actually accommodated the female wrestlers by cutting down 2 weights of the Greco and the freestyle. So there's 6 weights. Yeah. Freestyle, Greco-Roman, as well as female wrestling at the Olympics now.
All right. We've got a little video here that you guys brought in. Let's take a look at some of the action, folks. Wow, some serious action there. Just tell us a little bit about, I mean, that was you fighting. I thought we were just going to see a video of, what wrestling is about, but you got some serious stuff going on there.
Yeah, that's me. I haven't been wrestling for a while now. Since the coaching started becoming more seriously, it takes a lot of time because I'm coaching, let's say, 6 to 8 hours a day, and then you try and train in between, and then you get some of your boys being selected for the international teams, and all of a sudden you're focusing a lot more on them for the international competition because it's tough. It's tough internationally for us.
Tell us a little bit about your coaching. You're coaching the cadets, and you're coaching the couple of other squads at the moment. Yeah,
basically, I started the coaching at RTS Rosday, and I had about 5-6 wrestlers, and we started just building. And I came over from Pretoria down here to start the wrestling, and it started very slowly. At one stage, I thought, okay, let's give up. Let's rather leave it. And then things just started picking up, and all of a sudden, I found the calling to stay.
Yeah.
And before I saw it, my club was 70 kids big, and I started coaching at the schools. I've got 3 primary schools I started coaching at, and then it just started growing.
How's wrestling doing in South Africa in terms of provinces? Because I've always had the picture that certainly in the Cape Winelands, that districts, that as a district, that it's very popular there, and maybe up in the northern parts of the country
northern
as well.
parts. It's definitely it's one of the struggles we have when it comes to competition. We need to drive up, fly up, and the financial implications of going up there and wrestling there is difficult for us because we can't go every weekend. It's like 2 weeks ago, the German wrestling team, they were here, and a lot of people were able to wrestle against them, where the Western Cape wrestlers, it's a bit difficult for them to go. To go there. And we had the South African wrestling trials now this weekend that just passed in Secunda. So we drove up on Thursday, and Sunday we were back here, and Monday we just started all over again. It went very well there. I had 3 boys from the Cape Winelands who actually won the trials. So we're waiting for selection committee of the South African coaches.
You walked away with a couple of medals recently at the Cape Winelands Awards, which was held in Worcester, where Lorenzo Arends is, of course, the chairperson of the district there. I mean, you were up and down the stage all night long. I remember I was there with the president of SASCOC, Gideon Sam. And while we were sitting there, I mean, it was a fantastic evening, jam-packed room. I mean, you were up and down on the stage the whole night, getting awards for something or other, or were you received? Tell us about the night.
It was basically my main nomination was of Coach of the Year.
Yeah.
And then I also had a lot of my boys that got nominated. I had, for example, school Sportsman of the Year, Junior Sportsman of the Year. It was also there was a newcomer of the year.
Yes.
A newcomer of the year.
That's fantastic to get those awards for the kids.
It is.
Give them something back.
It's great. I thought when I started coaching, I thought everything that I achieved in my life would be like the best. It would be the top achievement. Yeah. And after one of my boys won his first essays, that was in 2011, everything changed for me. I had more excitement. I thought when I won essays the first, I thought I'm going to jump up and down, but it never happened. When my boys won essays,
you were over the moon.
You can't put me back in the chair. And I mean, being a coach in the corner, you have to sit down, and you have to. Otherwise, the yellow card or the red card comes out. But it's difficult to keep a good man down when you have
so you're a referee there.
The referees. This weekend that passed, I almost got one. But we fight for the wrestlers. I mean, that's why we do it. I mean, the kids is why I do what I do. And
that's fantastic. We've got a picture here, in fact, of some of the. This looks like your. Tell us about this. Where is this?
This is the Boland team that wrestled at the SA Championships.
Okay.
You'll see Jason Bekes, the one in the Protea colours. He's my top wrestler at the moment.
Yeah.
He's also my assistant coach.
Okay.
He came all the way from Bokkerveld Ceres.
Yeah.
I got him to come to school at the Technical School Drosday, and he finished there. And afterwards, I said to him, "Listen, you can't leave wrestling." So he'll go to hopefully his 3rd African Championships, 4th actually, and then to World Championships after this as a junior. There's a few coaches and our president of the Cape Winelands Wrestling, as well as the management team, and then there's a few guys over there. You'll see there in the back in the middle, there's a boy, Daniel Bruce-Low. He's actually 20% blind.
Okay.
He actually won essays that Friday.
Yeah. There's another picture here as well. This looks like your cadets. Tell us about the cadets. What has happened?
That's the cadets that went to Georgia with me. It was I was one of the coaches, Hansi Kruger.
Yeah.
He was the other coach with me. We went to that's basically a freestyle team. It's only Johan Hulm, who is from RTS Rosday as well, the second to on the right.
Yeah.
He wrestled Greco. The rest of the guys wrestled freestyle. Zander could see the second to on the bottom to the right. He came 10th in the world. He's also moved down from Johannesburg now to wrestle by me. So he's also one of my wrestlers now.
Now I see these guys don't have Protea colours on their
No.
kit. What's going on there?
It's basically
You
cadets. When it comes to cadets under 17, SASCOC does not give Protea colours to under 17. You actually have to compete
You
under
got a
20.
kit. Yeah, that's right. You got to compete as an
So
adult.
it's
senior.
that was the cadet world championships.
Okay.
So Jason, who you didn't see on there,
Well,
now,
in fact, we've got a picture of Jason here. He's under
Yes.
50. There we go.
he's under 50 kilograms. You can see he's a Protea.
Yes.
That's the nice new singlets designed by Gussie Bartlett and South African Wrestling Federation. That's the whole part of what I was telling you about the United World Wrestling changing
Yeah.
wrestling. The singlets have changed. We used to just have
The
this
singlet's the kit.
red, the kit, the red and the blue.
Yeah.
There we would see he was in green and white,
Yeah.
and it's only got the red stripes or the blue stripes at the bottom.
You're kind of looking a little bit more jazzed up.
Yeah,
now.
it's the country's changing up, and it looks much better, I would say.
That kit though, that kit's not just normal speedo material.
It's a type of lycra that
Yeah.
they use.
It's a strong.
It's a strong,
huh?
strong stretchable material,
Yeah.
and it's easy to move in.
Yeah, but I still don't know how you guys get into it though.
Ah.
You got to squeeze in there. You got to jump from the cupboard into it.
Yeah, something like that.
You got another picture here as well. It's nice seeing these pictures of you guys in action here.
Yeah, that's actually
This
the
looks like
four
a-
boys from my school,
Yeah.
from Drosday, that went with me to Algeria. I think this was actually my first tour as a coach.
Yeah.
So I was as a Greco coach, and those four boys, all four of them went on to get bronze medals. So it was quite extreme for me as a coach to go with my team, and for all four of them to medal.
Yeah.
It was great. I think for a lot of them it was a learning curve. Out of those four boys, two of them went to the World Championships.
And you've also, let's just go back to this. You've now also taken wrestling into the world of rugby. There's quite a cross-pollination there. I mean, wrestling is being used in a lot of sports to teach
definitely.
upper body strength, core strength, hand-eye coordination, a lot about your center of gravity and,
the
and
balance
breathing. And
Yeah, I think the whole conditioning aspect of it, the component where wrestling comes into rugby, is where it actually helps you to move as well. The tackling. For us,
yeah.
it's like a sixth sense
Yeah.
to just tackle the head on the
Shift
left,
and all that.
move to the right.
Yeah.
Where rugby players a lot of the time, the head is on the wrong side, or the
Yeah.
conditioning when it comes to diving onto the ball. So I work a lot about upper body strength when it comes down to ripping, rucking the ball,
Yeah.
getting over the ball.
Yeah.
And also the normal just fitness, the wrestling fitness, where I normally say to the rugby guys as well, you work for 30 to 40 seconds on a field. Literally, where
Yeah.
on a wrestling match, it's 6 minutes. I get my boys on, the rugby boys on, after 3 minutes, they're naked. They can't
They're
go
finished.
anymore.
Yeah, I've seen
But
it.
that's the difference when you get to the last part of a rugby match,
Yeah.
and you still got that fitness where that fatigue jumps in,
Yeah.
and you still got that extra.
Yeah.
It makes a big difference to our teams and the rugby players that I coach.
Yeah, no, I mean, I can imagine that there's quite a lot of also work behind the scenes as well, a bit of gym work, a bit of nutrition
of
work, a lot of flexibility. You've got to monitor your injuries and all that.
The weight cutting,
Oh, you of course, yeah, you guys have got to cut
Yeah,
a bit of
that's
weight
quite
as
a-
well from time to time. I know
that's
that.
quite a big thing.
Yeah.
And it's all about doing it the right way. Before, if I talk about myself 20 years ago, when I started wrestling, cutting weight was, don't eat anything.
Yeah.
Now
yeah.
things have actually changed. Where
Yeah,
you,
today you're cutting carbohydrates for 3
you cut
months
the
before.
carbs and cut a bit of water
Yeah.
2 days before, and it's starting to become a real science of
Yes,
cutting
yeah.
weight properly. You get the
Yeah.
Americans. Jason, who wrestled in the World Championships, he actually wrestled against a boy that drops about 13 kilograms.
Yeah.
So
Of course,
you
that's
can,
of course become big in the MMA now as well.
Yeah.
It's a real cutting
so you can
cutting
imagine
science. Yeah.
wrestling, you weighing 50 kilos,
Yeah.
you're not cutting, and someone else is cutting 13 kilos to wrestle you. You weigh in the day before. After that, you can just pack in again.
Yeah.
You literally pick up 6-7 kilos again.
Yeah.
So
Overnight,
it's all about doing it the right way and with good nutrition,
yeah.
training.
But of course, very important for kids that are maybe watching now who think they can cut. It can be dangerous, and you need to make sure that you've got a coach,
Yeah, definitely.
a coach
You
to help
need
you
a
through.
proper health coach or a dietitian or someone
Yeah.
helping you, that you know what you're doing, because if you dehydrating yourself It couldn't. It's not good for your heart or
Yeah.
any of your organs. So especially when you use the saunas and you run a lot, and you need to put back what you take out.
Yeah,
Even
Epsom
it's
salt baths and
yeah.
yeah.
Back in the day, you just keep on running. And you're like, never.
Of course, the thing that seems to happen on the day after a competition, after you've been cutting, everybody wants to go for pizza.
Yeah.
I don't know why. It's not hamburgers.
pizzas-
It's not braaivleis. For some or other reason, it's pizza.
The pizza is quite popular with my boys as well. Normally, when I go up, I stay over in Bloemfontein, and I'll do a shake and a pizza deal with them. So the boys that's cut well, they get a shake, and then so that they get all the good nutrition in.
Yeah.
And then if they're still a bit overweight, you get 1 slice or 2 slices.
Yeah.
Guys like Jason, he gets a shake and a pizza because he's normally underweight.
You guys have got a massive metabolism. I mean, you guys burn calories
Yeah,
like
definitely.
heavily because there's so much pushing and shoving and contact. It's much more than just because it's a very anaerobic exercise.
Anaerobic, and then definitely the anaerobic aspect changes a lot of things.
Yeah.
Where when it's just aerobic, you just keep on running and
Yeah.
you just go marathon.
Of course, and that type of exercise pushes your heart rate up much higher.
Yeah, the
than
intensity. We struggle. I wouldn't say struggle when we drive up to Pretoria, Johannesburg.
altitude.
I never actually believed that. I was there in Pretoria my whole life, and people come up and they're like, the altitude, and so the first time I went up there, I trained quite hard, and I got there, and I'm like wrestling essays, and I'm like, I'm unfit,
Yeah.
and I couldn't understand. And then later someone said, yeah, I told you the
There's less
altitude.
air.
So what I do with my
There's
boys
oxygen.
now, as we drive up, we stay in Bloemfontein, and then we have a bit of training there.
Yeah.
And then after that, we drive up the day before or in the morning, and then I have a training session with my boys before weigh-in. So we normally call it like a heartburn.
Yeah.
So and then it just burns, your chest burns,
yeah.
and then after that, your first match, and then it just gets better every
The
match. you
shock
wrestle.
factor is a little.
It does. It makes a big difference.
Yeah.
Otherwise, we just get there and the air
You
just
just
feels
don't know what's going on.
different.
Yeah. Of course, nowadays people are trying to train with altitude masks and
Yeah,
all
that's
sorts of stuff. There's still
altitude 2.0.
Yeah, we're still the jury is still out on whether or not that helps. But we've got some mountains here that you could go up.
Yeah, I mean, Neva, Worcester, we've got a few as
You
well.
got a couple, yeah.
So,
Kurt Herzog, you're an absolute legend, inspirational. Your passion is infectious. Yeah, the way that you talk to us about the kids and having fun with it. You clearly got your whole act together in terms of periodization, training, cross-pollination with the kids, and most importantly, you seem to be having so much fun. So
yeah, that's
that's
the amazing thing. Where I've got 12 rugby teams I'm coaching now as well. And it's the kids, and it's about knowing the kids' names and working with them every day. When they walk into the mall and they shout, Coach Kurt, and then it's like, hello. It's my boys. They turn into your own.
Now, well, you're a legend. A legend in the making, if not a legend already.
Yeah,
so
thank you very
we
much.
want to say thanks to you guys for joining us here on Cape on Sports Federation TV, and we look forward to following your progress. It's going to be exciting.
Thank you very much. Nice for
Okay.
having me on.
Yeah. All right, folks. Kurt Herzog, absolute legend. How passionate can you get? That's exactly what we're looking for sports administrators, especially the champions that have done the thing before. When we come back after the break, we'll be speaking to the folks from Deep Sea Angling, and a little bit later in the show, we'll touch base with Richard Buckley, the chairperson of the Cape Town Sports Council. This was, of course, after the awards that was held at the Civic Centre last night. Back in a sec.